You ever hear about a man who had everything, but lost himself somewhere along the way? I'm talking about Marcus Blackwood, standing up on the porch of his Nebraska mansion like some old king surveying his conquered kingdom. Fields stretching out in every direction, barns bigger than most folks' houses, and that look in his eye that said, I built this, I own it, and no one's going to stand in my way. He was 45, owned more land than some European countries, and if you asked around, folks would tell you he was the kind of rich that doesn't soften a soul, but hardens it, makes a man more weapon than human. The Blackwood Agricultural Corporation wasn't just a business. It was Marcus's sledgehammer, used to flatten anyone with the nerve to say no. You know the type. Built his empire by swallowing up small farms, pushing old families off land they'd worked for generations, turning independent farmers into problems to be solved. And his latest problem? The Peterson family farm, a humble 200 acres right in the bullseye of his next expansion, owned by a man who, by all rights, should have given up long ago. But Henry Peterson was cut from something different. 80 years old, hands twisted by a lifetime of honest work, eyes that had seen too much and refused to look away. His wife gone, his son lost to a farming accident, just him and his granddaughter Sarah left to keep the farm going. Marcus tried it all, bought every inch of land around them, cut off their access to tools, squeezed the banks, lobbied the county to mess with their zoning, sent lawyers sniffing for violations. Yet Henry stood firm, stubborn as the oak tree out front, refusing every offer, every threat. Thing is, Marcus saw that as a challenge. That old fool's costing me millions, he'd growl to his attorney, Jonathan Steele, during one of those weekly meetings where he mapped out the next piece of someone else's life to take. Every day he holds out as a reminder that someone can say no to me. I can't have that. Steele warned him, said they were pushing the line, might catch the eye of the state's attorney if they went further. But Marcus didn't back down. He had a new plan. Simple. Ruthless. See, Marcus owned this bull, Destroyer, a massive Brahma cross, mean as a snake, had hurt men, killed 2 other bulls. Most folks would have put him down, but Marcus? He saw opportunity where others saw trouble. Their properties shared an old fence, and after a storm, Marcus forgot to fix his side, leaving weak spots. The plan? Drive Destroyer right through when Henry was out walking. If anything happened, well, it'd just look like a tragic accident. A wild bull, a broken fence, an old man in the wrong place at the wrong time. Cold, right? Yeah, that's who Marcus had become. But here's what he didn't know. Henry wasn't just an old farmer. He'd done 2 tours in Vietnam as a medic, seen things that'd break most men, and come home with a sense for reading both people and animals. The man had this quiet way about him, could calm a skittish horse, mend a wounded bird, and his granddaughter Sarah, she was learning to be a vet, studying animal behavior and law. An unexpected twist that was about to matter more than anyone guessed as, oh, it's a chilly October morning. Mist clinging to the fields, and Marcus puts his plan in motion. He's got his right-hand man, Jake Morrison, a former prison guard who'd seen the ugly side of people and wasn't above getting his hands dirty, plus 2 hired hands, Tommy and Bill, ready to move the bull at his signal. Marcus told them, remember, it has to look accidental. Nobody sees nothing. We're just moving livestock. Fence gives way. That's all. Henry, meanwhile, comes out of his house just like every Tuesday, steady stride, old oak walking stick, flannel shirt, baseball cap from some long-defunct seed company. He walks the fence, checking the land that's been in his family since the Great Depression. Marcus watches through binoculars, thinking he's got this all figured out. But the universe has a way of exposing the truth when nobody thinks it's watching. As Henry approaches the weak fence, Marcus's crew gets ready, Destroyers snorting, pawing the ground, every inch the beast he's meant to be. Jake whispers, "Boss, what if something really goes wrong?" And Marcus just stares him down. Do your job. That's all you need to worry about. Here's where it flips. Henry hears the noise, senses something off. 60 years of farming. He knows when animals are being pushed, not just wandering. He pulls out his phone, Sarah made him promise to keep it handy and starts recording. Tuesday, October 15th, 9 a.m. I'm hearing something unusual from the Blackwood property, documenting this for my own safety. Marcus sees the phone, panics, radios his men. Abort! Abort! Pull back! But it's too late. Destroyer bursts through the fence, wild-eyed, 2,200 pounds of muscle and anger charging across the field. Most folks would have run. But Henry? He stands there by the oak, camera rolling, and does the one thing nobody expected. He talks to the bull. Calm, steady, easy, big fella. I know you're scared. This isn't your fault. The bull slows, confused by the gentleness, ears flicking forward, head rising. 30 yards, 20, 10, 5. And then, instead of goring Henry, Destroyer stops, breathing hard, looking the old man in the eye. Henry reaches out, voice low, hand steady. You're not a killer, are you? Just another victim in someone else's fight. And right there, the bull lets him touch its nose. All that rage melting into something else, something softer. Marcus, hiding in the grass, feels his legs go weak. His perfect plan has not just failed, it's laid him bare, turned him from a power broker to a would-be killer caught on camera. Sarah rushes out, phone shaking in her hand, and together with Henry, uploads the video. Social media lights up. People everywhere see the truth. The Petersons harassed, the bull manipulated, the accident not so accidental. The twist? Detective Maria Santos shows up the next day. She's got farming in her blood, sees right through Marcus's scheme. Henry tells her everything, shows her years of threats, sabotage, evidence piling up like hay bales in a barn. The investigation unravels fast. Marcus's security footage, the weakened fence, the bull's mistreatment, it all comes out. He's arrested, charged with everything from attempted murder to animal cruelty. And for the first time in years, Marcus Blackwood feels something close to shame. In court, the world watches Henry's video, sees the moment kindness turns violence aside. Marcus confesses, breaks down, admits to destroying over 30 farms, agrees to pay restitution, loses nearly everything he built. But the most unexpected part? As part of his sentence, he's forced to work at an animal sanctuary, day after day, face to face with creatures as broken as he used to be. 3 years later, Marcus is a different man. He asks Henry, now running the Gentle Hearts Animal Sanctuary with Sarah, if he can stay on as a volunteer, no pay, just a place to belong. Henry, looking him over, says, everyone deserves a second chance, but you'll start at the bottom, and if you slip, you're gone. Marcus nods, grateful, knowing the truth of it. He spends his days tending the most traumatized animals, especially Gentle. The bull who'd once been a weapon, now the sanctuary's calm ambassador. On the 5th anniversary, a crowd gathers at the oak where it all changed. Henry, older but unbowed, gives a short speech. 5 years ago, someone tried to use an animal as a weapon against me. Today, that same animal teaches our children about compassion. The man who ordered it has become one of our best caregivers. Every day, we choose between fear and love, cruelty and kindness. As the sun sets, Marcus stands off to the side, tears in his eyes, realizing he's finally become the man he should have been. Gentle grazes nearby, calm and content, a living reminder that even the deepest wounds can heal, that transformation is always possible if you have the courage to try. And that's the legacy of Henry Peterson, Gentle, and a Nebraska farm. Proof that real strength lies not in crushing your enemies, but in helping them remember how to be human. So let me ask you, have you ever seen kindness turn a disaster into a miracle? Do you think redemption's possible for folks who've lost their way? Or was Henry too generous in forgiving Marcus? When is justice enough? And when does vengeance just keep the pain alive? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your take in the comments below, because stories like this, well, they're not just about farming or animals. They're about who we are when the world stops watching and we have to choose what kind of person we're going to be.